you guys
Good evening, everybody.
You guys are tuned in to another Stay Fishy Friday, but this Friday we are doing questions and answers only.
His idea. I swear, his idea. I tried putting it up there on Facebook that, we're only doing question and answers tonight. Going to answer all your fishy needs. And everyone was like, oh, but not one story, a couple stories. Come on. We missed the stories.
I'm sure we'll get derailed here and there, but...
No, you're acting like Big Rich is here.
All right, so to get things started, I'll catch up on the few chats that were before the stream. We have Kathy Murphy for $7. She said, super chat time. Aww. Gotta feed those fish and turtles. LO. Hi, Rich and Josh and Tracy.
Oh, hi, Kathy. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
And we have Rob Schilling for $10.
Rob's here.
Team Tracy.
That's the nicest thing you can say. Team Tracy. Just that whole movement. That just warms my heart. Thank you, Rob. Appreciate it, brother.
Alrighty. So you want to go ahead with the mom update?
Sure.
But wait. Before you go.
Stop interrupting me, kid.
Before you go, drinking word for the night.
What is it?
Well, let's do question. If anyone has a question.
Yes, if you guys are drinking, gotta consume when we say question. That's going to get some people soused. Okay, the Tracy update. Not much different than last week, other than we've been setting her up a lot more. So she's been sitting upwards. She's, definitely holding her head up. She's, except here's the one thing that happened today. I was tickling her feet, and she pulled her foot away from me. Now, she's reacted to pain before, but not tickling. I used to never be able to touch her anywhere. Not on her knees, not on her neck, not on her feet. Underarms, nothing. I couldn't, if I just mentioned I'm going to tickle you, I can touch her anywhere on her body and she'd just, retract. But she hasn't, reacted to tickling yet. And today she did. I started tickling under her foot and she started twitching her foot and pulling it away. I was like, oh, you reacted. You didn't even know this, Jeff. So I did her other foot, and her other foot, same way. Now, also, for the last 4 or 5 days, me and the nurses both notice, see, when we suction her, there's about a 15-inch cord that we put down in her trach and pull out. And she'd always wait until we get to the bottom, and we'd touch the bottom, then she'd start coughing. Now she's coughing as soon as we pass the inner cannula, which is the hard plastic piece that goes in. So we put the hose in here, and then we go past here, and she's starting to cough as soon as we're here, not down here. So she's feeling a lot more, and that backs up my thinking on the the tickling her feet, because now she definitely is reacting to tickling her feet. I swear she's been, blinking twice for yes for everything, but every time I ask her, she blinks twice for yes, and then she keeps on blinking. So, it's hard for me to decipher what's there and what's not, But, the fact that she's feeling more and she's coughing and choking more when we're suctioning her out means she's coming around more. And the fact that she's being able to feel when we're tickling her feet and pulling that away, that just really tickled me to death. So, I saw a little glimpse of Tracy there, So she's coming around more. There is definitely improvements. But that's all I got to say. Me and the nurses are getting our schedules down. I'm doing 16-hour shifts 5 days a week, and then 24-hour shifts for Saturday and Sunday. So, I'm just beat and tired all the time. Josh lets me sleep. Every time he sees me sleeping, he'll wake me up a half hour, hour afterwards so that I'm up. And, I'm used to waking up because when the nurses first came here, I got 4 hours straight sleep. And then I couldn't fall asleep. When they left, I take care of Tracy, take me a half hour. I'd sit down on the couch next to her and fall right out. I can't do that if I get too much sleep. So, we've fallen into a nice schedule of I sleep for a half hour at a time, and then, I get woke up, and then I go back to taking care of and go back to sleep. Even when the nurses are here, I try and help Josh around the rescue and do things then. Go in, sleep for an hour, come back out, and, because I just cannot catch up on my sleep while the nurses are here. it just screws up the rest of my schedule. So that's how things are going, and I'm happy with the progress. I hope you guys are too. If any of you have any questions, let me know.
All right, so I figured we're going to change things up a bit tonight. So while my dad's talking, I'm looking in the chat, and I'm going to find a question, and I'll end up answering. And while I'm talking, my dad's going to find a question, and then he's going to read it aloud. Then he can go ahead and answer it. And I think that'll give us both adequate time to find questions, read them off, and answer them for you guys. I'll still be trying to do my super chat duty as well. Let's turn this ringer off. Give me just 1 second.
My bad. I usually hit airplane mode. I'm sorry.
There we go. All right. So, first up, we have Sammy Davis Jr. He said, "Hey, Big Richard Josh, do you plan to move that bass from the stingray pond to the pool pond?" Okay, here's the thing with the bass. We put the bass in the stingray pond because, for one, we have not seen him eat. We don't know how he reacts. And still to this day, we have not gotten him to eat yet. We've had fish go up to 3-4 months without eating. I've tried tilapia, I've tried shrimp, I've tried now pollock, I've tried crab meat, I've tried octopus, squid. I've tried a number of things and he will not eat. The previous owner told me he only eats pellets. I've tried pellets and he will not eat. I've gotten him to strike food, and that was on tilapia only, but he went up, he took it in his mouth and spit it out. So I know it's a matter of time. But before we throw him out to the wolves in the monster pond, which we want to do someday, we got to make sure he's eating well and he's fully healed, and we don't have any sort of concern that fish might, go to his demise by putting him in that pond, because that's a big tank with a lot of mouths and a lot of aggression that you can't just throw a frail fish in there and expect it to survive. You got to make sure he's eating, make sure he's healthy and strong, and he's a competitive eater.
Here's what you guys got to do. You guys got to have faith in us, okay? I'm seeing a lot of not faith. Why don't you put Hubert in the pool? Why don't you put Schwarzenegger in the pool? Why don't you put the Pacu in the pool? Why don't you guys have faith that we know what we're doing and there is a good reason, okay? We try everything. Pacu cannot go in the pool because of the light cords, the power cords for the pumps, what else is in there?
Power heads.
The power heads. We cannot have the Pacu chewing on these cords, and then we'd have to be in there replacing these expensive pumps and cords all the time. So no Pacu in the pool ever. It'll never happen. Okay? No stingrays in the pool. People can step on them. They shed their barbs. We can step on the barbs. There will never be no stingrays in the pool. People jump in the pool, could land on the stingrays. I know it looks more fitting for them, but it ain't going to happen. So if we're not doing something, there is a good reason. Now the bass, another reason Josh didn't mention is we have a colony of cichlids in there. Now we've tried bass in the pond. The bass are lightning fast and can catch the cichlids, where the red tails, they mosey on about their way. And if a cichlid gets to their mouth, they might take it. But our big fish, usually, they don't expend the energy to go after the little fish. And our colony of cichlids have just grown exponentially. When we had that big bass in there, he was decimating the colony. So we had to get him out. We cannot put this big bass in there for that reason. Now, he might go from the pool pond or the pool that he's in now to the 4,400 or the 3,000, but we cannot put him in the pond. And there's a bunch of reasons. Just trust in us.
You broke rule number 1.
What?
We're supposed to be going back and forth, rapid fire. Here's a question.
But you didn't hit on the fact that the bass was eating the cichlids.
Don't matter. It's all right. We're just going rapid fire. We're getting information out there. We need these questions answered tonight. Do you have a question?
Next.
You're supposed to have a question waiting. So I'll go again.
Okay.
We have Callisto 405 with yet another question. He says, "My fish is pooping stringy white poop, still active and eating. Is that worms?" So that is sure signs of parasites. So if it's something you care about, you're asking the question, so I'm sure you care, I would go ahead and dose for a round of internal parasites. And normally you can actually use this right here. This is API General Cure.
Oh my
and
God,
this
we
is what
love
we
this
use.
stuff.
And that'll pretty much hit on most of the internal parasites. I wouldn't think that it's something a little more complicated, but there are medications out there. I did not bring it up here, but we brought some medications up to, demonstrate and show you what we like to use. So for internal parasites, normally stingrays and just all purpose, we like to use the API General Care.
Okay, now we've got a question here from Arcadius. It says, how do you manage Arcadius? Okay. How do you manage not to have zero algae? Well, we do a lot of scrubbing algae behind the scenes that you don't see. We clean the tanks all the time. We love our magnets, but mostly, I've had tanks before that were just completely covered in algae, and that's all you're doing is every day, every other day cleaning algae. There's a problem there. There's too much nutrients in the water. There's too much, fish in there that are pooping, mellow out the amount of fish you have in there, lower down the amount of food you're giving them. Now there's less nutrients in the water, the algae can't grow. You can always put on a UV light and continue doing what you're doing and let the UV light kill the algae. But, us at the rescue, we don't feed to power feed. We don't power feed. We don't want the fish to grow so fast. We feed to stay alive. So there's less nutrients in the water. We have a lot of water passing through each tank. So stuff can't settle and build up and, detritus and debris and all that. There's many different reasons. We have no light. We have no windows in the fish room at all. It's completely dark. We don't have any sunlight, so that helps a little. Basically just, take on, yourself what you're doing. There's a lot of food in there. There's a lot of fish in there. There's a lot of algae. Turn your light off during the day. Only turn it on to show people your fish. That'll help. Feed less. That'll help. Your fish won't die. They might not grow so big that you have to get rid of them fast, but they'll still live. Just like any human, an obese human is just seriously eating too much. I ate too much. That's how I got so big, and I'm fighting for the last year to lose all this weight. Now I'm eating too little to lose the weight. I should have just ate moderately all the time, and I wouldn't have gained it, and I wouldn't have to lose it. So, same thing with fish. The more food you have in there, the more debris, the more detritus, the more nutrients in the water, the more algae you're going to have. So, you got to think about all these different factors.
All right, we have Jim Sheasley with a $10 super chat. He says, hope to see you tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, Jim's coming over tomorrow for a tour.
And we have Ange for $15, and she didn't say anything.
Thank you, Ange.
So I'm just going to put that she had a question.
Right. And we don't care what Will Star says about you, Ange. We love you.
And we have Jim.
I'm kidding. He didn't say nothing bad about you.
We have Jim Sheasley again for $15. He said, Happy Fishy Friday. Happy Fishy Friday to you, Jim.
Yes, sir.
And I have my next question ready to go. We have Gina Ewing. Says, how long does it take one person to feed all the fish, and how often do they eat? Okay, so he feeds pellets in the morning. I don't know how he I see it. I don't know how long he takes to feed pellets because that's his job.
An hour!
I don't interrupt with his job. I feed at nighttime, and I feed all of the cut fish, just the meat. So whether it be tilapia, shrimp, pollock, squid, crab, just whatever it might be, I do the main feeding of all the monsters because they get all the cut fish. He does all the smaller fish, the cichlids, the baby grow outs, and you know what? We might be double feeding some tanks because he'll feed them pellets in the morning and I'll feed them, shrimp at night to give them a double feeding to help them grow a little bit faster.
Now, baby fish we will power feed.
Yes. And that's something I wanted to hit on is we go through every 3 days, everything gets fed. So one day I'll feed the Monster Pond 12 pounds and I'll feed the 2200. They're at two different opposite ends of the system. So the water passing through does not, foul up the rest of the tanks. The filtration can handle it. To where if I feed all the tanks at one time, all the fish are pooping and peeing, and the water just gets really foul really quick, and it takes longer for the filtration to filter it out. So if I feed the monster pond here and the 2200 here, it can cycle through and not be affected. So the next night I'll feed the 4400 and I'll feed the 750. And then the night after that I'll feed the stingray pond and I'll feed the 3,000 gallon. But then every day we also feed what we call the babies. And I'll feed the 650, I'll feed the stingrays, I'll feed the stingray pond. So when I feed the stingray pond, they're actually getting a double feeding that day. So and then the 1,000 is part of the babies and the fish in the community Bellagio tank. So hope that answers your question.
Very nice. Someone here, It's a Crying Shame, says, what happened to that one mod y'all had that lived in Australia? Well, that was a mod that kind of freaked out on us. We loved her, wished she'd stayed, but she quit and left. So we don't know what happened. She gone.
Do you have a fish question?
Yeah, I'm looking for fish questions.
All right. Let's see here.
Here you go.
Yes, I got some super chats to catch up on. So we have Will Star for $10. He said, "I'm back, son. I'll be there next week." Question: how is the saltwater tank project? Is it coming along?
No, Will Star, you haven't been here, so it got put on hold. You haven't been here for a month. You're the only one pushing the saltwater. I wanted the 580 to be saltwater. That's what I was pushing for when
I jammed that brake pedal.
When he agreed for the flatback hex, Will Star was all for it. I'm like, all right, we'll do this. Will Star stepped out of the picture. It's been on the back burner. We're doing other stuff.
Yes.
Can you hand me the orange juice, please?
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
That brings me to another thing. So you know the two fish I've always wanted was a Goliath tigerfish and a goonch catfish. I have the tank for the goonch catfish. It's sitting there. It's a pretty 580 gallon glass tank set up as a riverscape, and it's gonna look mighty fine. My dad, however, found a 2-foot Goliath tigerfish, and he wanted to buy it for me.
I want to buy it.
And
he won't let me.
I told him no. So I thought about it. We have the tank space for it. I just can't justify wasting the money to go buy this fish.
But
for
I
our own
offered to take
need.
it out of my own money and pay for this fish so that he's not wasting no money or nothing, and it's a gift to him. And he won't let me do it. I got the guy sitting there waiting for us to pick it up, and he won't let me.
Yes, I didn't want him wasting money on my own selfish need. We have a bunch of fish out there who can, benefit from us having extra time and not having an extra fish. And, that one's probably going to have to go right out to the monster pond if we did get it.
The last one we had in the 4400 and was amazing to watch. And
he got so bad in there that he was getting nippy.
This new one will be different. Okay, someone asked, is there any...
I wasn't done yet. We got one last super chat. We have Buckeye RC for $2. He said, I just want to hear Josh Synodontis multipunctatus. What?
You read it. Now explain it to me.
I have no idea what that is, but that was an awesome question. So drink up, Buttercup.
Ken B says, any vodka in that OJ? You saw me pour the orange juice right into my cup after you saw me empty my cup of what I had in it. So, no, there's no OJ. I wish I could. I can't spare it, guys.
He said there's no OJ.
I mean, there's no vodka. You're going to leave me alone, son.
All right, so you have your question. You may read it now.
I just read it.
That wasn't fish related.
Oh, my God.
All right, fine. We have Callum Duff said, how is your dolphin fish doing?
Wait, who was that?
Callum Duff.
Okay.
Said, how is your dolphin fish doing, and did you name them yet? I did not name them. We do not name every fish at the rescue. Sometimes names just come naturally, like this fish must be named this for this reason. Like, we just named a fish, what was it, yesterday or night before, the lemon barb in the 4400, that we've had this big giant eye, which people always think is Popeye, but we've had him for close to 2 years now, and he came to us that way. We thought it was Popeye when we first got it. We sent him through rounds of just vigorous medication,
the tar out of him.
And it was not Popeye, and his eye actually moves, which it would not if he has Popeye. So he has full motor function of the eye. It is just a deformity, excuse me, and we named him Popeye.
So now, yeah, his name is Popeye.
Back to the question. The dolphin fish are doing great, and I actually seen both of them eat. So last night I was out there feeding the babies like I normally do, and I was trying to get our brand new baby phantom redtail catfish to eat. And I got one to eat, the other one I could not get to eat. He's super skinny, and he would not take anything. So I'm like, all right, I'll give him another day, but I see the dolphin come over, and I think he's going over there to pick on the red tails because it's, you know, new meat in the tank. And he goes up to the plants and he starts bashing at the plants. And he's sitting there getting all the algae off the driftwood. What he was actually doing was eating all the dirt that was connected to the plant and the driftwood. So I seen him eat. They are doing great. I'm actually going to move the dolphin from the 80-gallon over into the 180 with the angelfish and the discus. So you'll have both dolphins right there in the planted tanks.
Next to each other.
And they'll be next to each other.
Okay, we got Ivory From says, WTF did you feed bananas to in the fish in the quarantine tank? So weird. Listen, it's not weird. Anybody that has Fly River turtles know they love bananas.
They go bananas for it.
This Fly River turtle happens to not like bananas. Everyone we had up till now loved bananas. Even Rod's at Predatory Fins, Sheila, the albino one, loves bananas. His other one loves bananas. We tried feeding it bananas because Reaper wanted to make a video. What can we do? I'm like, well, try feeding you know, Hubert the bananas. You know, we'll see him eat. And he did not like them. And the owner got a hold of us and said just today that he has never liked them. He loves grapes and all that. So we'll feed him some grapes on the next video.
I fed him grapes. He actually loves grapes.
Yeah. But that's why we tried the banana, because all of our other Fly River turtles did love them. I mean, they just love them. So go ahead, Josh.
Richard Maloney said that his super chat was missed. I just went back and checked, and it never came through, bud. So if you submitted it, it did not come through. So.
No. This pop-out chat does not show it. You have to go back on your phone. He did put one at the very beginning.
Oh, well, Richard, go ahead and post it in the comments, and I will read it aloud.
Or just tell us how much it is, and we'll read it, buddy.
All right. Yes, Josie Tackett, you missed the Tracy update. I am sorry. We did that at the beginning of the stream.
Always at the beginning. 97% of the time.
Salford Lad said, any plans to get a European Wells? I would love to see how big you guys could grow one in the monster pond. I saw one which weighed 130 pounds. Very impressive fish. Get your own question, buddy.
So want to answer that.
All right, so we actually cannot have a European Wells right now. They are an invasive species, and they are illegal to own. But however, my dad made a certain phone call the other day.
Now you're talking.
And we talked to the head of the Department of Agriculture, and she's trying to put us through for not only an education permit to keep some of these species, but she's also phoning a friend that is a little bit higher up that deals with more of the federal permits, and she's going to see what she can do for us on the federal level to own things like CITES species, Asian arowana, stuff like that.
Oh my goodness.
So if we can get all of these permits together, I mean, we've gotten calls on snakeheads, Asian arowanas, and we can't help them because we have to save our own butts. And, you know, we do have to follow the law, and we have to practice what we preach. So, but if we can go ahead and get these permits, we can have, you know, these animals here and figure out the best places for them to go, whether it be a public aquarium or, you know, they go to a breeding project somewhere. But that gives us the capability of doing so. All right. Your question, mister.
I got two. Jesus Man 69 says, my fan on tail just ate night crawlers today.
Yes, I got the other one to eat today. So like I told you, I feed a variety of food. I got the other one to eat some cut fish tonight. So he did not like the shrimp, but he did eat tilapia and pollock. All right, number 2.
Okay. Kevin Josie says, I'll be setting up my fish room next month. Roughly 2,500 gallons. Nice. On a common sump and drip system. I'd like to add plants to the sump system, but how much plant space will be worth my while? The more the better. If you can, just run, take your sump and run it to another tub, just with a U-tube in between so that your sump stays clean. You got plants up there, and then you got plants on this whole tub, and then your pump on the bottom of that tub, pumping back up to your system. Now you've got double the amount of plants, but you're going to need lights on there. Use LED grow bulbs. So very cheap on the electric and works so well.
All right, we have Bass and Mike 85 for $100. He said, thanks for all y'all do for the hobby.
Wow.
Hope to visit one day. #Team Tracy.
Wow.
You are more than welcome to visit.
Anytime.
All you have to do is contact him or myself and set up a date to tour. And
also, if you guys contact through the page on Facebook, it's horrible. There's 1,000 messages there that I have to get these, and then people are messaging down here, and I don't get to them for 3 weeks to a month. I mean, it's just it's terrible, and it's getting worse as we go because I'm not answering as much as they're adding on. Please don't, send a message to the page. Do the forum, the Ohio Fish Rescue 501c3, or straight to me. Click on my name on the forum and send me a message. Or call me. I have my number posted out there. Other things. It's just, all of our emails, everything are getting so blocked up. It's only me and Josh, and we've got real life things that are really taking, charge. So we're not able to handle, I need a personal assistant, a secretary, something. I really do. I just can't afford to pay somebody because I'm still putting out about $1,500 a month into the rescue out of our own money. Now, people say, hey, you got that nice refrigerator. I can't afford that. I see where all the donations are going. That's some effed up stuff right there.
No, you can go and say it's some bullshit.
That's some bullshit. Okay, because I have my Ohio Fish Rescue 501c3 has a PayPal account that is not-for-profit, and it's linked to the not-for-profit bank account that the government watches and sees all the money that comes in and what I spend it on. I have to be able to explain what I spent every dollar on. I can't explain a refrigerator, a new Harley. I can't do that. It's not coming into my pocket. It's $2,800 a month to run the rescue. And I'm spending about $1,500 of my own money still putting in every month to feed, to take care of the electric, the gas, the water, the sewer, and then the traveling and the gas and all that kind of stuff. So, I got a message on YouTube about, nice fridge. I see where the donations go. I wanted to reach through YouTube and just, how dare you accuse me of something like that? This is an up and up business, period. I'm still donating my money into it. Yeah, we're not wasting donations. Every dollar matters and it helps. It doesn't matter that I own houses and that, I collect, so much rent every year. I have to pay taxes. I have to pay property taxes and insurances on all those houses. And then I have to pay income tax on all those houses every year. So, I mean, it really eats at me. I just had to pay $22,000 in taxes. It's crazy. But my own money's still going into the rescue. So every dollar you guys helps me. Yes, it really does. It buys food. It buys electric. It buys gas. Basically, it buys food because I pay for everything. So, it just upsets me that somebody would think that low of us, that we're that kind of scandalous people that would do something like that. Everything is on the up and the up. We're running a 501c3 not-for-profit rescue, and we're scrutinized by the government. We have to show them everywhere that every cent went. I mean, I'm not smart enough to defraud the government, okay? I'm writing out everything, and here's what we got, here's what we did, here's what we got, here's what we did with it. I mean, that's all there is. That's all I know to do, because I'm trying to help the situation. I'm trying to help the problem here, okay? Yes, do I benefit by having these large fish that I've always wanted all my life? Yes. Do I benefit by having 23 red tails at 3 foot? No. I take on the responsibility of finding them a home better than I can give them. And now we're working with 9 different public aquariums. So, that has been a godsend. And it's been great because I can give them a home better than I can give them. They go into a 35,000, gallon South American display tank, but they also have a vet on staff 24 hours a day. We don't have that here. So we give these fish a better life than we can give them, and we only keep 1 or 2 of each species here to show people and help educate how big they actually get. Because everybody that comes into our rescue are like, oh my God, this is so much bigger in person than it shows on the videos. Well, yeah, look how big these fish actually get. And, I've had many people show up here and it's like, oh, I wanted an iridescent shark. I'm never buying one now. That fish is humongous. He's 3 foot long and 50-some pounds and about a foot, 15 inches tall. It's just crazy. But they don't see that on the videos. So, I don't know. I forgot why I'm ranting. I'm just going off.
All right. Doogie says, do you have any personal interest in smaller non-monster fish? I know they don't need rescuing as much as they are easier to rehome. Well, like we always say, we love all fish. We even have our smaller Planet Community tanks. We have our angelfish tank. We love small fish. We love big fish. We love all fish.
Not only that, we never say no to any fish. And there is your inclination to know whether it's a true rescue or not. If the guy goes, hey, yeah, I'll take your bass, but I don't want the pleco, I don't want the pacu, but I'll take your bass and I'll take your arowana. Don't give that guy your fish. He's not a rescue. He's a collector, and he wants what he wants. And he might give those 2 fish a decent home for a while, or he might not. Who knows? He might have a 100-gallon tank and just wants big monster fish. Do your research and check out with all these different rescues that are popping up everywhere, because I guess we've glorified the situation, and I'm sorry about that. But check with, past people that have, sent to. A lot of these rescues are reselling fish. A lot of these people are taking in, keeping what they want, and then selling them. So it's a hard thing. I didn't mean to glorify any of this. It's a whole lot of work. People write me all the time, how do I start my own rescue? I tell them, don't. It is 100% effort and work and no profit at all. This has been, 9 years for us?
I don't get a paycheck.
I don't get a paycheck. So yeah, it's crazy. It's we're doing what we do for the love of the industry.
But what we do get is to meet some awesome people and make lifelong friends.
I have met so many people across the United States that have been so great to us and so awesome, and still to this day are our friends when they've donated a fish 4 years ago. They call, they when they're in town, they stop in, and some even spend the night. There's some awesome people out there. That's why I love my Fishy family. You guys are all so awesome. We've met so many good people, and it's just amazing. It's amazing.
All right, Lightning Larry said, where's the Jowcat fish? The Jowcat is in the 650 dog bone tank, we are still working with him to get him feeding so he can, grow and flourish and then slowly be bumped up to larger and larger tanks. So, we don't always hit on all of the fish that we have here at the OFR, but they are still here. If you guys, ask about them, I'll tell you about them. There's a lot of tanks here. There's a lot of content to be made. You guys can, if you want different content, you can follow YouTube, you can follow Facebook, you can follow Instagram, you can follow TikTok, and each platform has different content. So, just today, I've been working with TikTok a lot to, do different content that people want on there. And it's been going really great for us. We've been funneling a lot more people that did not know about us over to our YouTube, which helps us generate more revenue and help more fish. All right, next question. And I did say a question.
How do you become a YouTube member? Liz Dregney. Listen, Liz, at the bottom of every video, it'll say join. And if you join right there, then you can become a member monthly. And you'll get certain videos that don't, like all of the Big Rich's Bitchin' Kitchen. Then we're all released on the members videos before. This is the first time I released one out to the public. And it didn't do so well. People loved it, that liked it. They loved it, but not very many people liked it, So it didn't do well. And it hurt us, basically. So I'm going to put that back in the member section. Just hit the join button. You can join for, I think there's different tiers. $4.99, $9.99, $19.99,
and $50, I think,
and $49.99. Yes, them are the different tiers.
All right, Richard Maloney says he donated $10 and the message doesn't matter. Well, Richard, it's always a pleasure to have you in the chat.
Wish I was drinking with you, brother. Here's to you. Thank you.
All right. It's Sammy Davis Jr. says, hey guys, I know you don't need one, but is there any plans for another monster tank build in the future? There's always plans. We're always debating.
We're dreamers.
But you know what? We have to come up with the funds first, the feasibility of it actually happening. So you know what? First is, getting filtration 3.0 set up. And then it clears out room for move this tank 3 foot, move this over, and we can set up another tank there, and then bam! We can set up another monster tank there.
We call that tank Tetris.
Yes, playing tank Tetris. All right, we have JP Merlo for $5. Said, hey guys, haven't chatted in a while. Hope all is well at the OFR. Hope to visit this year.
It's about time. JP Merlo is a deacon in West Virginia, not Kentucky. Some people got that wrong before.
He's going to come up here and murder you.
Yeah. He's a friend of ours, and he also runs a rescue down in West Virginia. So, thank you, JP. Appreciate it, brother. He was supposed to do our website for us. You guys would be seeing.
He's from Kentucky.
I did it again? It's from Kentucky. Kentucky, no. Are you serious? Are you messing with me?
What is the name of his rescue? It's not West Virginia.
Kentucky Fish Rescue. Okay. My bad, JP. I did it again. I'm so sorry. He's from Kentucky, guys. Imagine that. And, he runs a Kentucky Fish Rescue. He's a deacon in Kentucky.
Because he always emphasizes Kentucky.
Okay, gotcha.
You were so confident this time. I love it.
I was confident. I finally got it right. I'm still wrong.
All right.
JP, we love you, brother. Keep preaching the word.
Jim Sheasley with another $10, and he didn't say anything, so I'm just going to say he didn't have a question.
Thank you, Jim. We'll see you tomorrow, brother. You're the best.
All right. We have Multi-Tank Addiction for $2. Says, Josh, thanks for your help last week on SC Stream. No problem. It was my pleasure.
Any way we can help. We love helping people.
We have Dart Frog 100 for $2. Says, sorry, no tongue twister today. Ignore the idiots.
Yeah, I should, but that kind of stuff gets to me.
Hey, just saying, the tongue twister was pretty damn funny last week.
Wait, grab that clear glass jar right there. Show it to people what it is. It's the swear jar.
Oh, it's backwards.
Put something in there. Okay.
Why do I owe something in the swear jar?
Because I don't swear.
I didn't swear.
You said pretty dang.
Oh. It's not a swear word. It's in the Bible. All right. We have Anthony Norse for $5. Said, tips for starting a single Oscar tank. Size, food, decorating, etc. All right. Did you take it?
I was reading. What'd you say?
All right. I'll take it. So for a single Oscar, 75 should do just fine.
That's fine.
You know what? Gravel it in the bottom. Do some driftwood and plants. You can even do plastic plants if you want. Sometimes Oscars will go after live plants, sometimes not. So it's either hit or miss on that one. But why only have one fish? There's plenty of fish that can go in with Oscars that stay small. You can get Jack Dempsey's and other Central American, even South American cichlids. They're colorful. They don't fight with each other. And, you know, it's a peaceful community. Or, you know what, if you want to go a little bit bigger, you can go for a 125. So there's plenty of options there. And they eat things like, they'll eat anything, absolutely. Pellets, shrimp, tilapia, whatever you throw in the water, the Oscars are going to eat it. If they see someone else express an interest, they're going to come up and take it and eat it just so that other fish can't have it. And I think that does it. All right, we have really 2233 for $10. Says, hi, Big Rich and Josh. My question is there any plans to upgrading any tanks in the fish room or move around to add more tanks? Hashtag Team Tracy. Hashtag question. Oh, and question. All right, so I'm gonna.
I think that was 4 times.
I'm gonna cleanse my palate real quick before I answer that one. So we are always thinking of ways to upgrade tanks. If we can upgrade a 200 to a 500, we're going to do it. Right now, our next plan is to do filtration 3.0. What that's going to allow us to do is take the 8x4, basically our sock table. We already talked about it before. We have the sock table with the aquaponics table on it. We're going to bump that out to the pool room. We're going to expand it by 3 or 4 times. I'm not going to tell you what else, but that's going to open up room in the fish room. Now, like I said, we play a little bit of tank Tetris. We can move this there, that there. We can set this tank there, that tank there, set a new tank there, and who knows.
Here a tank, there a tank, everywhere a tank.
There may or may not be 2 new tanks in the fish room this spring or summer.
And a brand new aquaponics system to help us put more plants. From the member that asked us earlier how much plants, even we are adding more plants to the system to, you know, look at it this way. Every farmer's pond you see, you know, they go out there and they got a pond out back and they go fishing and there's big, huge bucket mouth bass in there. They don't change that water. It's the plants. It's nature, baby.
All right. But that's also going to open up some room in the monster pond room, too.
I don't think so. We're taking up that whole corner with all brand new filtration and then going to the...
If someone can connect the dots, they might have it. You know what I'm talking about.
I have no clue what you're talking about.
Move the aquaponics table from the fish room. And all
there
that
is no aquaponics table. The whole filtration system's going out into there, and there's going to be that area open. Okay, you're talking 265s and 190s and all that there. Not no big tank.
All right, I'm just going to share it with you because he's not remembering. If we turn the 1,000-gallon sideways against the 4,400, put the 1,000-gallon right there, and then we can have 5 or 4.5 foot. We can have.
Let's just turn the 1,000-gallon sideways. No problem.
We can have 4.5 foot walkway, and then the Matt's Monster Fish 750-gallon, 4.5 foot walkway, and then the 580 gallon.
That's what you're talking about.
Yes. All right. So that would be 2 more tanks.
That was aggravating you, huh?
It so was.
I love you, buddy.
But then that would also open up 10 foot of space in the monster pond room to either A, add in another tank, or B, expand the seating area and make it more of a lounge so we can have more people lounging out in the pond room.
Right.
Which I like both ideas.
Okay, Will Star says, Rich and Josh are definitely very frugal with the money. Fact, they do not waste any money. And if you can remember this, I had probably $400 in the OFR bank account. Now, I have to justify everywhere I spend this money. So, Josh come to me and he's like, Dad, that net's had it. And I'm like, no, we can use more shoestrings and tie it together. It'll still work. And by the grace of God, all you awesome people sent in nets to us. You know, I wasn't wasting the money to buy $100 for a net. Is ridiculous. You know, I'm not going to waste that money. That can go for food. And then you guys sent us all these nets, and I had to build a whole new net wall to hold our nets. And I'm so proud of my net collection. I mean, a little thing in life, the nets, but I'm proud of them. And you know, you guys have banded together and got them for us. Just simple things like that. I don't waste the money. You know, if I can use a shoestring, I use the shoestring. If I have to buy another net, then we'll buy it. But if I can fix it, I'll fix it. And you know, that's how frugal we are with the money here. You know, it goes to food and to feed the fish. That's it.
All right, we have Nicole Wessel for $10. She didn't say anything, so thanks, Nicole.
Thank you, Nicole. I appreciate that.
I'm just gonna say she had a question. So
she had a question.
We have Alexandra Stengel for $5. Again, she didn't say anything, so we're just going to insert drinking word 5 times. So have fun, everyone. All right, then we have Omar Acevedo for $5, and he put a little emoji and said number 1. Well, thanks, Omar, and every dollar helps. Now we have Kyle Jaded for $2. Said, Big Rich, I need some of that buffalo chicken dip. It was good.
Everyone needs some of that buffalo chicken dip. So good. Oh my God. It was like Lay's tater chips. You can't eat just one. You scoop once, you're scooping many times. I had Metalhead there, and he was just like nonstop. I mean, you couldn't get this man away from it. He'd have fought me if I'd have pushed him away from it.
All right, we have Will Star again for $10. He said, let me try again, LOL. Question, everyone consume. How was Florida, Josh? Did you see any fish while there that you would like at the rescue? Rich, let's get saltwater project going next week. All right, so yes, I've seen many fish I would like there. There's a lot of fish in the canals that are just absolutely beautiful, but I was also diving with manatees, and I was, had my snorkel on.
Do you remember when I was swimming in the pool and you were standing outside and you videoed?
Oh, for our manatees, yep. Yep.
Now you got to see a real manatee. They're
facts.
3 times my size.
Still facts. Baby manatees. All right.
He's killing me.
But yes, while I was actually diving with manatees, we went to several different spots. The first spot the guide, or I should say, took us to was very muddy and nasty, and I was very aggravated. You could see the tail of one manatee that 50 people were huddling around. It was just absolutely garbage. I'm like, you know what? How long do I have you for? He said, you have me for 3 hours. All right, we wasted a half hour, so we've got 2.5 hours. Where can you take me that's clear and warm? He said, oh, I can take you up to, this
Why
ridge
didn't you do that in the first
this
place?
spring. And I'm like, I don't care about manatees no more. I'm just trying to go snorkel and have a good time. So we get there, and we're the only boat there, and I jump in this water, and my friend asked me, oh, can you toss me my phone? So I tossed him his phone, not thinking. He said, you know that's 18 foot deep right there. And my friend misses his phone. It goes right down to the bottom. So we have to dive down 18 feet, grab his phone, come back up.
Did you pop your ears?
Yeah. But that was super fun. But we're sitting there snorkeling in this water, and I'm just going up this channel, and it gets real thin. And it gets down to like 6 feet wide, where all the springs are just rushing out. And I just see big bay snooks swimming up in there, which I want. They're super sweet fish. And then we get into this spring, and there's like 30 manatees, and they're huge, and manatees are swimming by you. They just barrel you out the way. And then I'm just like, this was greater than the spot you took us. We paid for a manatee tour, and I could have just came here on my own. So hope that answered your question well, but Florida was awesome.
Yeah. I wish I could have gone. If it wasn't for, I have to deal with Tracy, I'd be going on all this because he really hates traveling. He's got, work and all this other stuff, and he had to make sure it was only on the weekend that he could fly there, fly back, and it was a pain, But I'm ready to do this stuff. Greg Woodstock's wanting me to go to all these different things, and I can't. I have to take care of Tracy, and I'm not saying that like it's a bad thing. I mean, priorities. I have to take care of Tracy. Oh, you want to go out tonight? Can't. I have to take care of Tracy. Oh, you want to go and let's meet Camp Kennan? Can't. Got to take care of Tracy. I mean, it's priorities, and I'm sorry, but I would love to be doing this stuff. And speaking of Camp Kennan, You want to say something? No, don't tell him.
All right, we have Reaper.
See how I get treated by my son?
We have Reaper for $2.
My son tells me what to do.
We have Reaper for $2.
You said that before.
All right. Reaper said, any free tanks around?
Oh my God. I am going to beat his butt. He put on his video this morning. Now, I told him, I'm setting up all these free tanks, or all these little tanks as freebies, you know? And what I meant was we're giving them out as freebies on OFR, the website. Oh, I'm sorry, the Facebook page. He takes it in his mind as, oh, they're freebies. He makes a video, and he puts the video out, and it's like, oh, you see all these videos? Oh, you see all these tanks? Yeah, sure, the OFR's got them. They're free. Come get them, people. Oh, my God, my inbox was so loaded up this morning with... I had to call Reaper, and I yelled at him. I'm like, dude, what are you doing to me? We had so many phone calls, so many emails, so many text messages of these people wanting these tanks. That said, they're free. Come get them. And they're like, oh, what's the address? I want to come pick up. I'm like, oh my God. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put out Reaper's phone number with a free 55 gallon. I'm going to post it up here.
All right, we have Jim Sheasley for $10.
Oh, he's back.
Say anything, and it's odd to have Jim Sheasley.
Yeah, he's always here at the beginning. He's working.
Yeah.
What are you doing, playing hooky, Jim?
We have JP Merlo for $5. He said, "No, Kentucky."
I knew I was going to hear about it. You know what?
It's all right. I got your back, JP.
You know what? I'm not even going to rag on him now because he was the one building our website, and he showed me a preview, and it was really good. I liked it. And then he's kind of like, psych. There's no finish to it. And this is going on like 9 months now. We still don't have a website. If anyone's out there willing to do a
you're
website,
telling me if he would have built your website, you'd remember he's from Kentucky?
I would have never, ever, ever, ever got it wrong.
All right, we have Metalhead Prime for $5. He said, question, how much buffalo chicken dip can I fit into a 20-gallon aquarium? Just a question because
about as much as you ate. He was scarfing that up. The Frito scoops is the key there, you know what I'm saying? And the melted cheese, oh my God, it was so good.
K-Stu said, what will happen to the outdoor koi pond masterpiece when it rains heavy? Well, it's going to have a bunch of rain, and the water's going to go out the overflow through the screen and...
to the river.
Yeah.
Don't understand the problem here.
So some of you might ask, why is there a screen? Well, that is because, you know what, sometimes koi can have eggs, and it might rain. The eggs can get washed over, so if you have a fine mesh screen that no eggs can get through... Now, it will create a problem. That's another thing you have to clean, but It stops eggs from getting into your local water systems, which we have the overflow going to the river, so that's why we have the screen in there to stop any possible contamination of koi into our river system.
Now, our filtration overflow can get full of leaves and all kinds of stuff, and that don't block up that screening. The screening goes to the overflow. When it gets too high, it can seep out through the screening. So it works really well. I don't know.
All right, Florida Fish Rescue said you guys are going to have to accept that fish rescues are going to pop up, and you should back them. You can't rescue them all.
No, I will not back them because 90% of the ones that pop up are people that are reselling fish. So Florida Fish Rescue, I appreciate your question, but you got to understand our side, not your side. Our side is we built a name for ourselves, and we can't back anybody until they've proven themselves to us. JP Merlo and Kentucky Fish Rescue, he's proven himself. I once backed the people in Michigan. What was that? Tiny something Fish Rescue?
Tiny Fins or something like
Fishy
that.
Fins Fish Rescue, and they closed down. But we get to choose who we pick and choose, not you tell us who we pick and choose. I choose who I want to back. And if you're going to be there and you're doing good things, I will watch you. I'm not going to let you advertise on my page because that gives the illusion that we're backing you. But I will keep watch on you. And if you do good things and you're doing great, I will just randomly one day say, look, dude, we're backing you. And you're being advertised on our page. You know, that's my prerogative, my hard work, everything that we together have built over these times. 90% of these fish rescues are guys with a 50-gallon, a 55-gallon, and a 100-gallon saying, oh, I'm a rescue. What free fish can I get? And then, you know, they get and they keep one or two and they sell off the rest. We run into this problem all the time. And this really heats me up. So if it seems like I'm taking it out on you, well, I'm taking it out on you. I'm sorry. You shouldn't have said that to us because I get to choose who I back, period. And I won't back anybody unless they're doing good things. Like J.P. Merlo down in Kentucky. See how well I'm learning this?
And
Kentucky.
we do have people in Florida that we back too.
Oh yeah,
but,
the fish.
Yes, Fish Rescue and Aquarium.
Yes, we back down.
We even send people to Rod, but there's different people all over the United States that we do back.
And we will advertise and let them on our channel.
They are good-hearted, wholesome people who have the same virtues that we have.
The same ideals.
Yeah. So, I mean, there you have it. Now we got JP Merlo for another $5. He said, ha ha, I love y'all.
Oh, well, you know, he's made to give forgiveness. You know what I'm saying?
We got Liz Dredgeney. Welcome to the green team.
Thank you, Liz. Liz, I've known, actually. I only knew of her for about, I don't know, 6 months. 36 years ago. Haven't seen her since, you know. And then, you know, she's been following the rescue for over a year, and she keeps telling herself, I know this guy from somewhere. Finally, I had with Will Star, we did a thing with the pictures, and I showed my ex, Benita. She's like, that's where I know him from, because she was Benita's next door neighbor. So, you know, it all came together. You know, it was great. Small world.
Yeah. And we got Kathy Murphy for $7. Said, in honor of our new member, Liz. Wahoo. Well, thanks, Kathy.
All right, let me go to this one. Florida Fish Rescue says, we received a grand total of 95 in donations this year and already spent $4,000 on electric food tank setups. Running the rescue is no joke. I agree with you 100% there. People don't realize, they're like, oh, you got a 501c3, you got it made. You don't have to pay taxes. But they don't understand that, you know, it costs you a lot of money to get this set up, and then the government's scrutinizing you. And you have to list everything that you spent this money on. And they can take it away at any moment. So you're living scared is what you're doing. Yes. So I'm sorry, Florida Fish Rescue. Very creative with the name. But, you know, I'm very passionate about this, you know. And I see the word rescue popping up everywhere, and it's killing me. I get people calling me and say, you know, I gave my husband died, and I gave my fish to this guy here, and I saw him in the paper for sale the next day. I'm sorry that happened to you. You know, I don't back anybody until they prove themselves to me. So if you want on a proven list, you keep, you know, doing good things. I'll watch. Once I say, okay, these guys are the real deal, I will back you. And you will be part of our, you know, if I get a call for things in Florida, which I do all the time, I'll send them to you. If, you know, you know, people are wondering, you know, is this person legit? I will say, yes, 100% they're legit. You know, but you got to give me time. I can't just, because you opened a rescue, I can't just have you, you know, advertising on my site. I've worked 10 years hard, and I'm talking hard. If any of you watched our videos, you can see how hard me and this boy work. Every day of our lives, no stopping, no non-stop, just work. And I've worked hard to get where I am. I'm not going to let some jack-off that's saying he's a rescue and selling fish ruin our reputation, you know. I've worked hard for where we are. So I'm sorry for going off on you. I will share this
one story. We've had this rescue pop up, and I got a call from this person's wife. They sold their house.
Oh my God.
Their koi pond. They care about their koi. They had them for 20 years. They want me to come and get them. Her husband posted them to a local fish group to where this other rescue commented, "Hey, I'll come and take your koi," and I'd already been talking to the wife weeks prior and set up a date to come out. To where now the husband got word of that and said, "Oh, you know what? The wife has ultimate say. She already had plans, so it's cool." Word got back to the other rescue, and he called me crying, literally in tears on the phone. So you know what? I said, "I'm willing to work with you. I'll see what you're made of," and we go start loading up our tub with the koi. I'm over there putting air on the koi, making sure the filtration's running. And what does this guy do? The pond's drained. He takes some large koi, puts them in his coolers, and dips. And 3 days later, they're up for sale for $300 to $600 a piece. And that was the end of that guy. I deleted him off of everything. He doesn't care about the fish.
He's still running his rescue.
He's screwed multiple people, and there's people who call me and complain about him all the time. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I have nothing to do with that. But it's reasons like that is why we act the way we do. But there are more times that we do meet great people that we love.
Look how many times tonight I've mentioned J.P. Merlot from Kentucky. Right? Now, if you were a good rescue and we've known of you for a long time and we're backing what you do, we'll mention you like that too. So, I'm sorry, but I'm just very passionate about all this.
All right, we have Jordanella for $7. Said, "When the border is cleared across again, I'm tagging along with Biggs when he makes it back down. I want to jam with Big Rich and the Mad Aquarist."
Last time Biggs was here, he put on a jumpsuit made out of an onion bag and filled it full of tilapia and walked out into my pool. Crazy, crazy. He's coming back, okay? The Biggs is coming back. We always have fun when he's here. Last time I got a video of him doing my dishes. I'm like, you ain't got to do my dishes, bro. He's like, "Oh, no, you cooked. I'll do the dishes." I'm like, "All right, I'll grab the camera." I got a video of Biggs doing my dishes. No one else on the planet has that video. I do. Right. But Jordan, if you can, cruise along with them, sure, that'd be great. It'd be fun.
Liz Dresney for $5 said, "Josh, do fish need the tank light to see to eat? Do they care if the lights are on or not?"
Not at all.
Yes. No, the fish do not need light to eat. Most of the time, if it's catfish, they see by, their feelers, their little tentacles, little whiskers you see on the front. Some see by an electric pulse that they put out through the water. Most fish are more active at nighttime, so as soon as that light goes off, they're out there searching for food. That's
hence the big eyes.
Plecos, catfish, all that stuff. So that's why I feed before bed. He feeds in the morning.
I feed daylight, and he feeds with all lights off.
All right, Bassin with Mike, 85. Welcome to the Arapaima.
Oh my goodness,
membership.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you much, brother.
That's awesome.
All right, so we have Their World Aquatics for $10. Said, "Julie going to Mexico next Saturday. That's a good time to sneak in the 2 protein skimmers. LOL. Get scuba certified. We're going back in July." All right, well, Joe, I heard I can get scuba certified down in Mexico, so that's what I'm going to do. If not, then I'm just going to go and I'll drink on the beach all day.
While you scuba your life away.
I'll go snorkeling. But thanks, Joe. All right, Will Star for $10. "Cortez is a great location to do all of those activities. Let's get down to business, son." Well, Will, you messed up and you didn't come to Florida the first time. Could have had a blast.
You've been gone MIA for a month. I don't know what to tell you. You lost out so much.
I've been saying let's get down to business for a while, and Will Star just had no business to be had. Been trying, bro.
Von Yinzer says Josh channels Dr. Evil and treats Big Rich like Scott Evil. Now, he goes on with, "Let me tell you a little story about a man named," and he just quit. Rich. That's the Jed Clampett theme right there. I love that.
All right.
You know who does the music behind Jed Clampett? Do you know who Jed Clampett is? Do you know who the Clampets are? They're the Beverly Hillbillies. Now, you know the opening theme song is a banjo playing. Do you know who actually plays the music?
No.
Oh, come on now. This is Lester Flatts and Earl Scruggs. Oh, my goodness. You know, the banjo picking and... such a good tune.
So there's more questions about the mesh in the koi pond. So there is no worry about koi being washed over during a heavy rain. We have a 2-inch drain for the overflow, so it's never going to go up and over and wash out. So the only concern is for tiny things like eggs. So, you know, smaller fish too. So that's why we have the mesh in there. We've never had a big fish go through a 2-foot overflow and get sucked in the mesh.
No. The wire mesh is like you're screening on your window, so eggs can't get through.
But there is a little reservoir there for smaller fish to be able to live, so we can open that up and see if there's any baby koi, and we can pull them back out and put them back in the pond.
Yes. We try and pre-think of everything as we build stuff.
But we're only human. All right, we have Janie Googla for $10, and she didn't say anything. So thanks, Janie.
You know who that is?
Yes.
That's our mod.
Yes.
Thank you, Janie.
All right, we got Kyle Jaded for $5. Said, Metalhead, we are going to have to step the game up and fill a 75-gallon tank. Talking about with buffalo chicken dip. It's a lot of chicken.
Right. Catherine Sword says, Flats and Scruggs. She knew. She knew.
All right, let's get a few more questions before we call it a night here.
Really, it's that time?
Chris John here said, what a great stream and chat tonight. I think so.
I think so. So you guys got to let us know. Do you like the question and answers more to where we answer more people and do the super chats? Or do you like the story time where we tell stories and, you know, I interrupt Josh all the time because I thought of a story? See, here's one thing. People got to understand. I had brain surgery, so if I don't say the thought I have in my head and I wait patiently and politely until he's done, I forget it. I have no idea what I was going to say. So Josh has learned to deal with it, and you guys got to learn to deal with it too. I will interrupt him and say what I have to say, and then I'll get back out of the story and he can go on with the story. That's just the way we've had to learn to live our lives because of the circumstances and the cards we've been dealt.
All right, so Rob W. said, just curious, what's the issue with selling fish that you rescue to help offset operation costs? Just curious. Well, then that makes you no better than a pet store. Most pet stores can take in fish and
true.
sell them.
But it gives you the option of people saying, oh, you're doing this for the money. And that's one thing I did not want to happen. So when me and Josh worked our butts off and opened up this 501c3, I said, we're never selling nothing. It's all for the good of the fish. And then we're going to be known for this. And, you know, we're working hard on YouTube to try and make some money that way to cover the cost of the fish rescue. So it ain't out of our pocket. You know, it's still our work. It's still our money, but it's not out of our money while we're trying to pay for all of our bills in the house and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, we're trying to build things and we're trying to do the stingrays. As we raise our baby females up to be big enough to go with the male stingrays, we can sell the stingrays off as help, you know, to the rescue. Some people actually downed on us for going to sell stingrays. Well, I used to sell the stingrays before I bought this house. I sold my breeding stingrays for $47,000 and bought this house. I have not bred stingrays since. Now I've got a bunch of breeder females, very high quality, and a bunch of males in the pool ready and waiting. And if I can sell the babies, people say, well, what kind of rescue are you that you're mating and selling? Well, I'll tell you what, we never get calls to rescue black diamond stingrays. They're a high commodity. People will sell them. You know, we've maybe rescued 1, 2 in 10 years, you know, and it wasn't a rescue. It was a gift to the rescue. I can't take it. You know, you guys take it and keep it there and I can watch it grow. Fine. But we are going to breed the baby or the black diamond stingrays and have babies and sell them off. Now people can have Ohio Fish Rescue babies of our high quality that we've worked 10 years in finding and gathering and getting to where you now can get super high quality and we're just going to sell off. We're not a big breeder system, 10, 15 babies a year. But that is going to go very far in helping us cover the cost of the rescue. We're by far a stingray breeder. We're going to have, 7 males and 12 females, 14 females, and at the first 5 years, they only have 3 to 4, 2 to 3 babies a year, 3 to 4 babies a year at 5 years. It's when they get later on that they have 10 babies each. So I mean, it just helps us is all, and it's not hurting it. It ain't like we're breeding pacu and putting pacu back out there to where we have to rescue them. We never have to rescue black diamond stingrays. So it's just another idea we had to help the rescue, and we're going to do it. And that's all there is to it.
All right. I had a question and it jumped on me. I lost it. I'm sorry. All right. Here, we'll take this one. Do I have to worry about guppy inbreeding? I started with 1 male and 3 females.
Well, if you were a guppy breeder, you wouldn't want inbreeding going on and having, the terrible bloodlines that would come from it. You know what I'm saying? You would want a beautiful guppy from this guppy bloodline and a beautiful guppies from that bloodline and mix them together and, make yourself some beautiful guppies. No one wants inbreeding. It becomes problematic and it does not produce high quality, So.
And one more thing I wanted to say on the last comment is, we started OFR and we used to have a rescue that we idolized, and they crashed and burned because they took in these fish and then they sold them for high prices, just like a pet store. And
they were a business. They weren't a rescue.
That created a lot of animosity in the community. Why am I going to give this dude my fish and he's just going to turn around and sell it when I can sit here and wait 3 weeks and sell the fish myself and get some cash out of it?
Now, how does that help the fish? How does that help the situation? It doesn't. To this guy, it was a business. And then I was over his house one day, and way out in the boonies, and he tells me, I'm talking to him about the problem with pacu, because pacu are the biggest problem we have finding homes for. They're also the cheapest fish per sale. They're also the fastest fish growing. So they are our biggest problem. We don't say no to any fish. We take on the responsibility of finding this fish a good home. So I'm telling him about this is the biggest problem. You know what he told me? He says, when I get pacu, I take them out back and I throw them in the field. They die and they become fertilizer and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, are you serious? I lost all respect for this man. And, it's been crazy. But he's lost his 501c3. He is no longer a rescue. And that is more of the reason why we do what we do, for the betterment of the community and helping everybody out. And you know what? The more that we do to help, the more people that help us. And it's great. It's a beautiful, feel-good community. And I love all of our fishy people. This is just our fishy family. I love you guys. This has been like the greatest thing in my life. I've done so much before. I was in a band for 18 years. I was a bouncer for 20-some years. I had my own carpet laying business for 15 years. I was an electrician for 2 years. I went to auto mechanics school at Cuyahoga Valley Joint Vocational School, and I was going to become an auto mechanic, but I basically learned just so I can learn and build my own cars. Me and his older brother built a phenomenal car, that is probably, I could sell it for 70, 80 grand right now. I'm leaving that to Richie, because that's what him and Dad did together. I'm leaving the rescue in this house to Joshy, because that's what him and Dad did together. You know what I'm saying? So, I've done a million things, and this has been most rewarding. I've met the most good people. I don't know, man. It's just amazing the amount of good people I've found in this community that's so willing to help. And, I'm not talking about handouts. I'm talking about they show up at my house. You know, here's a 60-year-old man with a cane. What can I do to help today? Really? Sure, I'm here. You've got about 5 hours I've got to spare. He's feeding fish. He's doing this. You know, and I sit back and end up kicking it with him. But, you know, it just amazes me that this poor guy who can barely walk shows up to give his time here. You don't find that in any other situation. You know, this is just a beautiful situation, and I love it. That's why I fiercely defend it.
See, and this is not a business for us. I have my job. He has his job.
Right.
We make our own money, and we put some of our money back into our rescue. It's something we do as a hobby that we turned into something good for the community. Now that it's starting to pay for itself, it's less money out of our pockets. Yes, it's still time invested. We're not being paid, but that doesn't matter because it's something we love to do, and it helps so many other people out there, and you make good friends along the way. My best friend right now, I met through fish. All of our volunteers that come over and help that we've established good friendships
our mods,
with.
I met through fish.
Right.
You know, bearded fish keeper. We met through fish deals. The metalheads. We met through fish deals. Mm-hmm. You know, Janie. She actually knew Richie, but we didn't know her. She met us through messing with fish and stuff. So yeah, it's just amazing. You know, everybody that comes over and hangs out loves to hang out and wants to come back. And you know, I'd love to do that daily, but I just can't. I don't have the spare time. You know what I'm saying? I do everything that I can, and we run a rescue, and mainly it's here for the fish, and people love to see what we have here. And you know, some people are I don't want to say ignorant, but I want to say non-knowing, which is the definition of ignorant, but it sounds better. But they're not-knowing. Okay, they yell at us because the 3,000 gallons getting full. Well, that's our tank that we use for if we got 9 red tails, 7, tiger shovel noses, 11 ripsaw cats, 12 pacu, they're all in that tank. When it gets too full, we start calling the public aquariums. When we find one that wants a big bunch of them, they will show up and take them for all free of charge, and then take them back to their public aquarium where they get a better home than us. And then all of a sudden our 3,000 is empty. Can't we get a little bit of leeway? Oh, your fish tank's too full. Come on, people. This is how we have to do things. We save them until I can't call the public aquarium every time we get one fish in. I have to wait until we've got a bunch of fish that they're willing to make the trip for. It costs them money. They send people. They send truck, They send the tubs and stuff. It costs them money. So when we get enough fish built up in that 3,000 and it looks packed, yes, I agree, they show up and take all the fish and we're good to go. And not all the fish, but I mean like the ones we're able to get rid of, because we also keep in there, like Betty's in there, Charlie from the Dort Mall's in there, Pacu's in there.
All the Pacu are.
No, Paco, the Pacu from Long Island, New York, Stephen Wunderlich's boy. We've got Poas in there. We've got a bunch of named fish that we can't get rid of, but they're still in there. So I just wish you guys would have a little more understanding as to what we go through and what we're doing and why. Give us the benefit of the doubt that we're doing what's best for the fish. Yeah, it may look a little crowded right now. We're not keeping all of our tanks crowded. We're not jam-packing everything in here. It's that one tank. Come on.
All right, so we got K-Stew for $5. Said happy Friday, guys. Happy Friday to you.
Yes, K-Stew is one of our longtime friends here.
And we have Florida Fish Rescue said, we never sell fish. We do rehome fish if keepers can prove they have the right environment to keep them. We also donate tanks to injured vets, elderly homes, and schools. It's how we clear out fry.
Nice.
And then another guy said that he sometimes sells fish, but it's because he donates or he rehomes them for free, and then they give him a donation. So yes, that even happens with us.
That happens with us.
You might
never
rehome a fish, and the people who are come are so ecstatic. Said you could have sold this fish for $80. Yes, but we try and find the best home. Like, well, let me give you something for your troubles. And if they choose to donate, that's completely up to them. And that's how we know what a true rescue should operate like. Their nonprofit should be ran off of donations. And that's how you survive. The more of a moral compass you have, the more people who are going to back you and say,
right.
These are good people. They
like
deserve
compass.
What they have coming. And you're going to have more people wanting to back you and send money your way because you're doing a good service. And that's all we're trying to promote here. And we hope others can take that, what am I trying to say here? This
negatively
viewpoint. And use it for their own. And there's another person asking, what happened to the Aquarium Guys podcast? For those of you that don't know, Rob's just got pregnant.
You were going to say had a baby. Rob's just got pregnant. They were trying for so long, and now, well, Rob's didn't, his wife did, but they're I don't know why did he stop doing this podcast though?
He's probably taking a break to get things situated.
But you can't take a break on something like that he was building so well. It was every week. Everybody counted on it. Next week it's going to be there, and they're going to be. Now it's not there. They stop watching. Stop listening.
Well, I mean, we can call him and have him on the show next week and ask him ourselves.
No, let me call him right now on the show. Okay?
Wait, we have 6 minutes before Steven's supposed to start, so let's answer a few more questions.
You answer questions. I'm calling Rob's.
We have Richard Maloney for $5 said, love my fishy family. Well, our fishy family loves you too. All right, we have Chris Mannion for $5. He said, one rugger to another. Don't know what that means, but cheers. All right, so we're going to answer just a few more questions. Like I said, we want to stop before Steven goes on at 8:30. Do you guys have enough generator power to run everything if you lose power? Now
what's up, Roz?
Against the flow. So yes, we do.
Nice.
Uh-oh, there's
nice.
Rob's.
We got Rob's on the phone, guys. Hey, we're here on Livestream. Okay, you're live with us. Everyone's wanting to know what happened to your podcast.
It's still going. I do it every week.
He's still going. He says every week. Huh. They asked us like you haven't been doing it. I'm like, I got to find out.
Yeah, no, there's a podcast released last Monday.
I just told them, everybody, that your wife got you pregnant. Congratulations on that, brother.
Well, thank you.
How you been?
I've been great.
Yeah.
I've been well prepping for baby and new job, and now I got a 1952 Ford F3.
Nice.
Yeah. Now you inspired me with your classic car.
Well, say hi to everybody.
Hi, Chad.
Did you say Chad?
Chat.
Oh, chat. There you go.
All right.
They're all chats to me.
Oh, stop it.
So,
all right, brother. I just wanted to check in on that thing. Someone told me you weren't doing podcasts no more. I'm like, no. So.
Hope Josh for me.
What's that?
Hope Josh for me.
you're so gay. All right, so back to the question from Against the Flow. So do you guys have enough generator power to run everything if you lose power? Yes, we have different circuits. We can unplug and power pumps or aerators if we need, but we are on city power, so the power is never really off for more than 8 to 16 hours at a time. So we are prepared.
You did explain the 2 different generators we have.
Yep, I said we have 2 different circuits. I didn't go into that, but 2
we
different
have
generators.
One generator, small generator, that'll run for like 8 hours on 1 gallon of gas that we hook up just to our air. We have one air, an LA 100 that pumps air to all of our tanks, and it can run that for 8 hours. And if the electric ain't back on by then, we can start up the big generator, which is a 9,000 watt generator, can run all of our pumps and everything. And we got a 100-foot extension cord with 4 plugs in. We plug in the pump and then the circuit that runs all the FX5s. So if it comes to it, we can last days depending on how much we can buy gas. Period. So.
All right, so we have Bucky Doe Downer. He said, sooner or later you guys are going to need rescued by an aquarium or zoo. LOL. I'm going to say that is extremely false because more times than none, we donate fish to the public aquarium and they call us and say, hey, can you come and take these fish back because they're just sitting back here in a small tub and we can't put them in our tanks because they're too aggressive. They're chewing on this fish, chewing on that fish.
We save a lot of fish from the public aquariums.
So there's more times than none that we go back and we bail out these zoos and aquariums rather than them bailing us out. So I think that was a little bit of a foolish comment, but we are prepared.
Not foolish comment, but unknowing comment that people need to know. You know what I'm saying? Never shame anybody for anything. Ask they're asking a question that they don't know.
Sometimes, no, that was more of a statement. You guys are gonna need to be bailed out. It wasn't a question.
Yeah, we'll never be bailed out. We have been doing what we've been doing for many years, long before we started the rescue, and then during the rescue. And yes, we've grown every year. We are running out of space, but we have plans intact, ready to go for the upcoming years. And we're not going to run out of space. We're not going to stop what we're doing. We are going to keep doing good in the community. And if we do with our main plans, which is the government grants, we will open an OFR public aquarium like our buddy did in Pennsylvania at Electric City Public Aquarium and Reptile Den. Yep. They got a government grant, and then they opened up in the middle of a mall. Very expensive to do that. So if we can do it on our own property and our own warehouse and our own thing and start, charging to come in the door as a public aquarium, we will go that route. But, until then, until we get government granted, which, is very hard to do, if we can't, we'll keep doing what we're doing. If we can, we'll just grow exponentially.
And we actually have more to doing with people watching us and wanting to build large tanks that say, hey, I just built this 10,000 gallon pond. Do you guys have any fish you would like to rehome? And we have more people like that we rehome.
There's a lot of people like us like that.
And last but not least, we have Jim Sheasley for $10. And I think he's signing off here because we are going to be signing off for the night. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream. If you guys want us to do more streams like this in the future, let us know in the comments. And we will see you guys next week.
The way you can help us if you can't donate, like our videos. Yeah. Subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you can watch our videos and watch the commercials. You're not donating, but you're putting in some time to help us, and that definitely helps us. The more that you comment and talk back and comment back on our videos, the more the YouTube algorithm will pick us up. So that's a good way of helping us. Thank you.
And we will see you guys at 8:30 on SC Aquatics live stream.
Yes, you guys head over to Steven's live stream. It's SC Aquatics. He just joined us right there. Or maybe that was Metalhead. Mrs. Metalhead put out his stream. Okay.
So we will catch you guys there, and we will see you next week on
All right, guys.
Stay Fishy
you take
Friday.
care. As always, stay fishy, my friends.